phony.
Recordings of many phone conversations.
Up until now, it was widely assumed that the so-called Dianagate tapes were recorded by the use of something like this scanning machine, the publicly available device that enables people to listen in on telephone conversations. But Nigel Blundell, who's written a book on the royal family which examines in detail how the tapes were recorded and made public, says there's a very different explanation.
They were the result of a very sophisticated bugging exercise. They were, from the evidence of the experts that I've been to, both here and in the United States, it was a case of a bug at Diana's end of the line and on a hard line, and that means Diana's phone at Sandringham.
I love it. I love it.
Certainly there are a number of questions about the tapes. Experts say that they do not sound like they've been scanned because both voices are equal level. And they argue that there would have been more interference and radio noise on a scanner intercept. And Nigel Blundell has a theory about just who was behind the bugging he believed happened.
Who bugged Diana? The most likely buggers are MI5 and the Central Branch. Why did they do it? In the interest of the monarchy. The monarchy felt threatened by Princess Diana's demands at that time.
But Duncan Campbell, the expert on security matters, disagrees.
I'm disinclined to think that on what's been disclosed so far that the security services are involved. I say that for two reasons. Firstly, the kind of material that's been produced from these intercepts is really entirely compatible with the cheeky, sneaky listening amateurs, of which there are very, very many. And this kind of thing is well within the capability of the kind of equipment that you can buy for a few £100s.
However the Dianagate tapes were made, the fact is that it's now incredibly easy to listen in on people's private telephone calls and conversations. This morning in Corby, the firm of AudioTel, who make anti-bugging equipment, showed us just how easy it was to monitor cellular phone conversations. Using this £300 scanner, readily available from specialist radio shops, they simply tuned in. For the last hour or so, we've watched as Stuart Cotty has used his scanner to tune into various local telephone calls made on Cellnet phones. He's heard about 30 such calls, some of them about business deals, one about how to avoid the outcome of an industrial tribunal, and some calls, it must be said, were of a deeply personal nature. It's clear from what we've seen here, it's all too easy for even the most ordinary person to eavesdrop on other people's telephone calls.
When cellular radio telephones came onto the market, because they were high-tech, the executives who took them on board first viewed them as being high security. Whereas, technically, in reality, using a cell phone is like shouting from the rooftops. And it's an important point to make that really you can't protect that type of communication against interception. You have to look for other means of defending that communication. For example, the use of scrambling equipment.
But it's not just portable phones that are vulnerable. This fixed phone has had a clip put on its line which activates a remote tape recorder every time there's a sound.
But I got the feeling when I gave them the quotation, it was too high.
What do you think?
During the course of its work, AudioTel, who do security work for many of Britain's top companies, have discovered many different types of bugs in offices.
We have a pen transmitter here. There's a little microphone here. And if I just show you the innards of it, pull it apart, and you can see the degree of sophistication in the manufacturer. Or another technique is to use a simple AC adapter such as this. And inside you have powered continuously by the electric mains a simple radio transmitter that will transmit the contents of any audio in the room this is in.
The only way to protect phone lines, be they royal or ordinary, is to use a scrambler device which costs around £300. Even if a scanner picks up a call, this is what it will sound like.
Okay, well I'll do the costings again.
Judging by adverts in popular
Croatian troops are at this moment attacking our...
regularly have sexual intercourse.